Siberius, and we about to get serious. It's the real Siberius, making fanboys furious.
Hello, YouTube, and welcome to The Real Siberius. On this episode, I wanted to address the Jordan has no bag narrative that's been going around. I think I'm a little bit late to this. I believe it was Paul Pierce and Danny Green that were talking about Jordan had a limited bag. And then, I can't remember who it was, but somebody said that Jordan had no bag. And this is going to shock some people, but hear me out. I think they're right. I don't think Jordan had a bag. And the reason why I say that is because to me, a bag is a player having a small arsenal of moves that they could score with. And the reason why I say that Jordan had no bag is his arsenal was unlimited. He wasn't limited to a bag between layups, jumpers, mid-range, fade, post, catch and shoot, off dribble, and then the variation of each of those shots. I cannot think of a single player that had the arsenal that Jordan had. He wasn't limited to jumpers and mid-range. He wasn't limited to fade and post. He had all of those tricks in his arsenal. And no one else had that. Now, when they say he had no bag, that's not what they were talking about. But what I'm talking about, him not having a bag, is he wasn't limited to a bag. He had every possibility. His layup package alone would be a bag. His jumper package alone would be a bag. His mid-range alone would be a bag. All in itself. Just that alone. If you can think of another player that had the arsenal available that Jordan had, I would love to hear it. I don't think that there is one. I literally don't think that that exists. Even with the offensive dominance that's allowed in the modern era, there's still not a player that has his bag. And with how many strictly offensive players are that don't play a lick of defense. And Jordan was a top defender as well. So when they say in their context that he had no bag, I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. What game? Obviously, you didn't watch games. Because if you had actually watched full games of Jordan playing or saw him play live in person, that ignorance couldn't come out of your mouth. Because that's literally what it is. Ignorance. It's you literally do not know what you're talking about, and you have to make shit up to try to besmirch Jordan's legacy. Which you can't do. Because it's not a house of cards. It's not built on a fragile foundation. It's built on the most sound fundamentals and a record that speaks for itself. And I'm not talking about 6-0. I'm not talking about 2 three-peats. I'm talking about the entirety of his career is a foundation of excellence. It doesn't mean he won every game. That'd be boring as shit and impossible. But you can't tear it down. Ever since LeBron came into the league, they've been trying to disparage Jordan's career. They've been trying to minimize it and make it look smaller and less significant than it actually was. But you can't. If Jordan wasn't as great as he actually was, the Jordan brand wouldn't be what it is. He said it himself. He built his brand off of his play on the court. It wasn't built off of his fame. It wasn't built off of his notoriety. It wasn't built off of falsehoods and misrepresentation. It was built off of dominance on the court. A dominance that I've yet to be able to find before Jordan played, and absolutely have not been able to find since Jordan stopped playing. Every time I try to watch a modern NBA game, I can't make it through the entire thing. And it's for a myriad of reasons. And I have to give a shout out to Uncommon Sense because he talks about this a lot. And a number of other channels as well. The complete lack of originality and creativity on teams. It's non-existent. Whether I'm watching the Lakers and the Jazz or I'm watching the Suns and the Raptors, it's like I'm watching the same game. The game plan is the same. They follow the same analytics and they create their offense off of those analytics. It's why games have 55 free throws in a game. In one game, 55, not free throws, 3-point shots. It's why there's 55 3-point shots in a single game, 60 3-point shots in a single game. And they make 15. So they missed 45. And it's the same between every game, every team. There aren't unique individuals any longer. Everybody's the same. I remember when I would watch games, Malone played different, Barkley played different, Dominique played different. Everyone played different. Every single team you had to game plan for because it wasn't all the same. I think coaches have lost a lot of power. I think they've lost a lot of respect. And I think a lot of the player base and fans of the modern era don't know what a coach should do, should be allowed to do. The coach should be the conductor. The players should be the orchestra. It should be a collaboration. It certainly shouldn't be Jordan off talking to the Suns while Redick is yelling for him and being ignored. That's not what a coach should be. And there should be consequences for that action. There won't be. But like if you look at Phil Jackson and the triangle offense, it was Phil Jackson calling plays, Jordan on the court performing those actions. And again, because he has an unlimited arsenal at his disposal, he dictated how those plays were fulfilled, how those plays were actioned. I just don't understand what they're talking about. Again, like I said, under their context of him having no bag, or even the audacity to say he had a limited bag, unless you can show receipts of players that have a more expansive bag than he had, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. If you can't provide proof or evidence to back up your statements, shut up. You shouldn't be allowed to talk. I mean, people could easily say that I fit into that. I created this channel. I say whatever the hell I want to say. There are no consequences or repercussions for the things that I say. And I'm sure that some people find them idiotic and will claim, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And maybe you're right. Maybe I don't. I never played organized basketball. So I wasn't given a foundation of knowledge. My knowledge is limited as me as a fan and of watching over decades. So my knowledge about the game is limited. However, I'm not a dunce. I pay attention. It's important to me to have an understanding of what's going on the court. So I'm not completely ignorant, but I'm sure there are individuals that disagree with me, and that's fine. I don't care. If there are those individuals, if you don't like it, don't watch my videos. I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I didn't do this. I didn't start this channel because I wanted to become a millionaire, because it's not going to happen. I didn't do it to acquire 10 million subscribers, because odds are that's not going to happen either. And I'm okay with that. I don't mind having a small community and having interactions with other more popular channels. The biggest thing with this channel is I want to do it my way. There are ways that I could do it that would absolutely garner more subscribers, more clicks, and more views. But I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it my way. And I'll find a fan base. Maybe it's small. Maybe in the grand scope of YouTube, it's insignificant. But it's meaningful to me. And hopefully it's meaningful to them. I just don't understand where these narratives come from. I know why they come about, because they have to tear down and disparage past greats and past eras to prop up the mediocrity that is the player base and the game today. That's why it happens. How it happens, I don't know. How these ideas gain traction, I don't know. To me, it feels like it's a cult where they're being fed narratives, they're being fed lines, they're being fed defenses and excuses, because they all say the same shit over and over and over again. It was Jordan can't go left, and he had a super team, and his opposition was garbage. Now he has no bag. They just say the same things over and over and over again. And because, especially younger generations, haven't been taught critical thinking, if they hear it parroted enough, they end up parroting it themselves. There's no analysis. There's no research into, is this a legitimate, valid statement? There's no fact checking. It's, I heard it, so it's true. ESPN said it, so it's true. Fox Sports said it, so it's true. The Bleacher Report said it, so it's true. There's no examination of the integrity of those comments. But I still don't understand how they gain traction. Maybe it's because I am older. Maybe it's because for my generation, critical thinking was literally something that was taught in school and certainly taught at home. And I think that's died out. I certainly don't understand. I wish I did. There's times I wish that I myself was a mindless automaton and could watch the modern era and think it's great. I wish I could watch the modern NFL and think it's great. But that's not the world that we live in. Thankfully, with YouTube, with NBA.com, where you can go back and watch old games, I can still enjoy sports. The dissatisfaction comes from, I've already seen those games. I already know the outcome. There's no tension. There's no apprehension. There's no stress. There's no glory when the team that I want to wins. Because it's from the past. I've already seen it. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you made it to the end, I certainly appreciate it. As always, I want to give a shout out to the content creators that keep me doing this. Uncommon Sense, Angry Old Hoops, Self-Researched NBA Facts, 93Z, Sports and Fitness Rants, Uncut Hoops, Scap Attack, Speam Engine, In Your Face Hoops, Eddie TV, King Speech Row, Goatcast Hoops. I always appreciate your guys' takes and perspectives, even if sometimes I don't disagree. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.